All right, let's go to our lead story for the night. South Africa is preparing to reach its coronavirus peak in September, and Gauteng is preparing. President Cyril Ramaphosa today viewed a 500-bed quarantine facility here in Johannesburg. SABC political reporter Samkele Maseko joins me now to chat a bit about this. Samkele, very good evening to you. So the president's first stop was at that makeshift quarantine and isolation hospital. Promises of 500 beds thus far, and also making provision for ICU as well. Is all going according to plan from the looks of things?
Well, Griselda, it seems as if it's all systems go. It seems as if it's all going according to plan on the plans of the Gauteng provincial government led by Premier David Makhura, supported by the MEC of Health, Dr. Samkele Maseko today. The president going to view this particular facility, which you were there in its grand opening by the MEC of Health, Samkele Maseko. There, President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that he applauds the Gauteng provincial government for the systems and the preparations that they've put in place for South Africa's peak of this COVID-19 pandemic, looking at towards August-September period, when this particular pandemic will be at its peak here in South Africa. President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that it's particularly happy with this particular facility of those who will be there for quarantine period and those who will be there also for the self-isolation period, where there are the self-isolation booths for those who've been confirmed positive of this particular pandemic of this COVID-19, where they will receiving treatment. They will be there in their self-isolation. Those particular cubicles are fitted with all the necessary necessities that a human being may need there to survive. It's got a shower, it's got a toilet, it's got a bed next to it, and it's got a shower as well for those which you'd use in order to bath yourself as well. So President Cyril Ramaphosa saying that Gauteng is in the right direction and is using highly technological advances within the medical sphere in order to achieve this.
Samkele, the assistance also given to the most vulnerable in the country, food banks. The president saying he believes that is the correct way to provide this kind of assistance to cushion the impact of the coronavirus on the most vulnerable. Talk to us a bit about that.
Griselda, what was very touching with what the president said is that we've seen a number of South Africans standing in long queues waiting to receive food parcels. The president saying that is largely dehumanizing South Africans when it comes to them queuing up lines to receive food. It's best to have setups that have been set up in Gauteng, in Ekurhuleni, where there are food banks that people donate food there, and then the provincial government donates and disseminates that particular assistance to those who are in need of this necessities in order to survive, to have something to go to bed with and to wake up with, to have to put in their tummies. President Ramaphosa saying that is preserving the dignity of South Africans, as opposed to politicians or government going towards giving people food parcels and pictures being taken. That is dehumanizing people, and the food banks are the best method that are used internationally by other countries, and it's best that the provincial government here in Gauteng is moving towards that direction. It's led by the acting MEC of Social Development, Panyaza Lusufi, there in Boysens. You were there earlier on and saw the various donations that have been taking place. But these initiatives are not only taking place in Gauteng. I've seen them in other provinces as well, such as KwaZulu-Natal in particular, within the eThekwini district municipality or metro municipality. So these initiatives and food banks are taking place as opposed to people getting food parcels by politicians. David Makhura going on to saying that here in Gauteng, there is no councillor and there is no politician that's going to be distributing food parcels, and there's going to be no political interference or influence on who gets these food parcels. But what was more alarming was the president saying that this COVID-19 stimulus economic package, there must be no post-COVID commission of those who may have had their hands in the cookie jar.
Well, Samkele, I do apologize. I can't hear a word you are saying. But of course, let's just take a quick listen to this clip. The president also made a joke after he had trended last night, after addressing the nation. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, and then you'll tell us exactly the joke that he made about that boo-boo last night.
For those who were laughing at me yesterday, those who were laughing at me, now let me tell you something. I'm going to open a TV channel where I'm going to teach people how to put on a mask. So you can enroll how a mask is put on.
Well, Samkele, the president making a bit of a joke out of that. He ended up trending last night.
Indeed, Griselda, the president seemingly did not put on his mask correctly, but contrary to some of the comments I've seen on Twitter by some medical experts, they're saying, in fact, the president did put on his mask correctly. He was covering his face and he couldn't get it on properly. And many South Africans ended up making a meme of him. I saw one in particular of the various stages of putting on a mask, eclipsing it to the various 5 stages of the coronavirus that has been adopted by the Presidential Command Council looking to fighting this particular deadly pandemic, COVID-19. But the president trending for all the wrong reasons yesterday. But South Africa is a very beautiful country, a very humorous country that saw humor in a devastating pandemic and issue that the country is currently going through. But a lighter moment of this particular troublesome period that the country is going to, which will peak in the later months of this year, August, September, of this particular COVID-19 pandemic, which is very deadly. But a humorous moment for South Africans and a humorous moment for the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the #1 citizen, President Cyril Ramaphosa. Well, he says he's going to form a news channel that will compete with the South African Broadcasting Corporation and other 24-hour news channels. He will be teaching South Africans how to put on a face mask.
Well, we wish him all the best, certainly, regarding that. And I did see all those memes go viral on Twitter. Thank you very much indeed, SABC political reporter Samkele Maseko, who was with President Cyril Ramaphosa today.